Well, y'all, I promise you that this has been the hardest video that I've ever made. I struggled for words. I just struggled. I struggled with it. But you know what? We're gonna try. We're gonna try. Okay, we're about to go somewhere. Now, I have on an old work shirt and hair up and a medical kit. So, let's go do this thing. So, I got a phone call yesterday and I had to make a quick trip to Tractor Supply to gather some supplies for this adventure. The phone call, of course, was from Brooke, and it seemed urgent because she texted me first and said, "Can I call you now?" And, you know, that's kind of always urgent. So I said, "Sure." So Brooke called me and talked to me about this adventure and explained to me that there was no one else that could take this on at this time. So, you know, I'm always up for a challenge. So I got myself together. I had to think about it because this was a tough one. But I got myself together, went to Tractor Supply and gathered some supplies. And now it's the next morning and I went and loaded the big crate onto the back of the truck. And here we are. We are about to go on an adventure. Now, it's about an hour away from me, and when we get there, you'll understand more of why, because I really did not even know how to do this video, but I think I'm just going to let it play out, and we will talk about what's happening step by step. Okay, so first stop here we're going to make is with Laura Spencer at Simply Making It. And I want to kind of tour her studio and look around because I am so impressed. And guys, I know I make my soap, but believe it or not, I still buy certain soap from Laura because just can't make it like she does.
Thank you.
So we'll go on in and
glad you're here.
Thank you. Oh, how beautiful, and it smells wonderful in here.
Thank you. I've just done some rearranging in
Oh,
here.
wow.
Moved my showroom into this space and turning the middle room back into a workspace.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Was kind of melting out into the other spaces. Yeah,
and I'm really excited, most of all, about seeing your workspace. And you know as well as I do, soap making takes some space.
It does take some space. and I can promise you I can fill up a space.
And absolutely. I kind of have a table that I work off of, and sometimes, you know, I find myself throwing things.
Right. For me, when I first started, I was operating out of my kitchen, of course. And then we have a wraparound porch on our house at home. And we walled in one side of it so that we had that one side of that wraparound porch. You know, that side that you stick everything you don't want people to see.
Oh, yeah.
We're not using that side anyway. So we had some new siding put on our house. And when we did that, we went ahead and walled in that section. So my soap room was about the size of from that doorway to that doorway back, maybe not even that big, for a decade.
And you put out a lot of soap.
I do more now than I did then, because when I got the studio, and this was such a blessing to get, but when I got the studio, I was able to expand. and get barrels of oils instead of buckets
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
bottles. And so that helped my production. And then like my containers, getting boxes and big bulk orders basically, so that I had the ability to put out more than just a handful at a time. So, and then my big soap molds, which are
Oh, wow. So, yeah, you've got some big molds.
Yes, this is called the Goliath. And I have 4 of those, and they'll make about 90 bars of soap a piece. So this is my kitchen area is where I actually do my making. But I have 4 of these big stock pots, and so yesterday I took all 4 of them and I fill them up with, I measure out my shea butter and my coconut oil, the things that have to be melted down. I measure that out first and put that in here on all 4 of them because I've got 4 of those big molds.
Right.
So I measure that out and put it in here, and then I'll melt it down to get it just kind of slightly warm melted, and then I'll add my olive oil to it, and then I'm ready to make a full Goliath size.
Oh, wow.
Right here. And
so you have a whole process.
So it's basically measure one day, but I pre-measure and have my lye kind of master batched so that it's ready to go the next day. And that way it's also cooled back off and it's all good to go. So if I do my prep work one day, then pour the soap, create the soap, I could do all 4 molds in one day. And that gives me about 350 bars of soap. And then of course after that, you've got to unmold it and cut it and bevel it and stamp it, and then it goes on the shelf in here. So,
but who'd have thunk it?
Exactly.
Little old Laura Spencer from Marion Junction, Alabama, is now the proud owner of Simply Making It, and you are Simply Making It. Okay, guys, we're here at Laura Spencer's farm, and I've been touring the studio, Simply Making It, and smelling some wonderful goat milk soap. The real reason that I came here today, this is a rescue mission that it pulled at my heartstrings. Brooke called me yesterday and she asked me, was I up for a challenge? Honestly, I had to stop and think about this one because this was going to be one of the toughest challenges I have probably done to date. But after thinking about it, I almost could not say no. And I didn't get a lot of sleep last night because I thought about this baby all night long. And I have been in touch with a vet. But let me tell you the story. So yesterday, sometime early morning or in the night hours before daylight, Laura and her husband had a calf that was born on their farm. The calf was born blind. Now, there were 2 options really, is that Laura could find someone to place it with that could bottle feed it every day and get treatment for it and just kind of go with the flow, whether it turns out to remain blind or if there's something that can be taken care of. Or Laura could, and her husband could cull the baby. And I couldn't go that route because, we can't cull humans when they're blind or mentally ill or sick. So that was kind of out for everyone. Laura does not have time. She doesn't have time to bottle feed a baby, but also she was so torn because she knew that if she bottle fed this baby, that it would grow up to just be put in the freezer. And Laura could not go that route. And I don't blame her. I couldn't go that route either. So Laura was in tears yesterday about this. And Brooke did not have the time to take on the challenge. I'm not saying that I have the time, but I'm always up for a challenge. And this might be a challenge. So I'm going to do what the vet says, and we're going to hope for the best. Now, will the calf make it? We don't know. Will it ever get some sight back? There's always a possibility, but we don't know. What Catherine's going to do today is Catherine's going to load it up and take it back to G&G Farms, and I'm going to take care of this baby to the best of my ability. This is a rescue mission that I had to fulfill today. I had to do this. This is going to be a tough one, y'all. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. This one has me in tears. And we're going to name her Helen, after Helen Keller. Laura, can you tell us a little bit of why you decided that you wanted to rehome the blind calf instead of attempting to bottle feed it yourself or culling it?
Absolutely. Well, culling was never on the table, ever. That's not something we would ever do. And I've bottle fed multiple calves over the years because we've raised cows for longer than I've had goats. But the idea of bottle raising a calf that I know I'm not going to be able to long-term take care of her, we don't really have space for cows that would be considered a pet necessarily. And also, just we raise our own meat. And if I was going to bottle raise this baby, especially the fact that she's blind and I would be teaching her to trust me, it just would feel completely backstabbing, wrong. I wouldn't have a good feeling about that at all. So I'm all about bottle raising. I enjoy that, but not whenever I know that the end result is going to be that she's going to end up going to the stockyard or going, well, I don't know. You're teaching trust, and I want her to trust me, so I know she's going to be in good hands with you. So
I appreciate you trusting
well,
me.
I appreciate you taking her because I don't think either one of us slept last night worrying about this baby in the barn.
No,
and
sure didn't.
even though she was fine, just wondering why I was after daylight before she got fed. But she's going to be okay, and she's healthy. She looks great. She's got a good appetite, and I know she's going to a good place. So I'm thankful for you.
Well, we're going to do our best. We can't always guarantee the end result,
100%.
but we're going to give it the old college try. She's
Absolutely.
talking to us back here.
And I've always, I readily admit that I'm a realist, and I know that where our meat comes from. And I'm sorry, but this is just not something I'm willing to do. My heart wouldn't let me do that. But I also know that nothing's guaranteed. So I hope you have good luck with her.
Well,
but
we're both about to start crying here, so
I know, right?
I'm going to cut the camera.
So.
Well, y'all, I finally got back home, and I have fed the girl a bottle and medicated her. I've been able to take a closer look at her, and here's what I think. After taking a closer look at her when I got home, here's what I think about the eye situation. I'm almost positive the left eye is, she's going to lose it. It's bulging. It doesn't look good. I've got to call into the vet to see what we can do about that. The right eye, I'm not so sure. I've given her the medication that the vet has told me to give when I got her, and the right eye, it looks like she might be able to regain a little sight in that right eye, and that is what I'm hoping for. That is the ultimate goal, is to get a minimum amount of sight so that she can at least see where she's going, how to get to water, how to get to grass and hay and her grain. Right now, she just follows my voice and the smell of my clothes. She smelled my clothes and licked my clothes when we first met, and ever since, that's how she's been following me around. So now I am going to show her, and I'm going to show an up close of Helen, but word of warning, it is graphic because that left eye does not look good at all. So just know that if you're squeamish in any way, you might want to skip this part. So you guys, meet Helen. So this is baby Helen, and she is just a sweetie. She's relaxing right now, and I just put some ointment in that eye, and you can see that it is clouded, but it's not like the other eye. Her sleepy. She was so active a minute ago. She just wore herself out. She did. She wore herself out. Mama's got you, baby. Mama's got you. Stella is smelling of her. Now, I really don't want to show the left eye. It's really bad. That left eye just looks really bad. So you can see it from a distance if it happens, the camera happens to get on there. What is that, baby? What is that, huh? You in the sand. You in the sand. She has chose to lay right here in the sand because it's cooler. She had gotten hot earlier. She was stressed from the trip home, and she walked the entire yard, and she just kind of wore herself down a bit. But this is Helen, and we are just praying that Helen not only survives, but that Helen thrives. So we're not sure what's going on, but Helen did have some medication that's kind of got her feeling a little woozy. Yeah, that medication got you. And that big bottle, she drank over a quart of milk. So it was about 32 ounces that she drank for lunch. So she is just really full and sleepy and lazy right now. But I'm going to let her sleep. You can see that eye right there. But I'm going to let her sleep and come back out here at supper time, and maybe I can get some footage of her drinking the bottle. So y'all, I did not even know how to do the video. I did not even know how to start this video. This was one of those rescue missions that broke my heart, brought me to tears even before I met Helen. And wow. So I talked with Laura at Simply Making It, and we've both had some tears about it. It broke her heart. It broke my heart. I did not even know whether I was up for this challenge or not. I questioned myself, do I have it in me to even begin this? Because first of all, she may not make it. There may be some kind of systemic infection going on that we don't know about, that the medication can't kick. Now, she's on some really strong medication right now, but can she even survive? Number two, what if she never gets sight? Then I'm going to always have a special needs cow. Long story short, she may not make it. She's pretty healthy. She's taking her milk. She's using the bathroom good. She was pretty stressed today, though. But otherwise, she's healthy. Like right now, Stella is in front of her, and she has raised up to lick Stella. So she smells, she hears good, she responds to external stimuli good. But right now, for the next few weeks, it's going to be a waiting game and a challenge. So we'll have to see. I'm going to give it, like I always say, that old college try. But we'll have to see how it turns out. This is a mission of love. It is a mission of caring for others, even. This is a mission of giving of yourself for something that cannot help its situation. So In the meantime, watch for updates and y'all farm on. Come on, Helen. That's right. Okay, watch your step. There we go. There we go, baby. There we go.